Miss Hope, the floor is yours, ma'am. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Absolutely. So I am the co-owner of Mother Trucker Yoga, and we actually just launched at Matt's, so just a couple weeks ago. But my background, I have been in the yoga world for about 20 years. And so I have worked with pretty much every type of person you can imagine. I do have clients that are truckers, so I'm not foreign to the trucking world. But I met my partner about 5 months ago now, and he is in the trucking world. And we just got to talking, and he kind of said to me, well, do you do anything for truckers? And I said, well, no, not specifically. And so we just kind of birthed Mother Trucker Yoga, and diving into your industry and what you guys are dealing with on a daily basis has just really reconfirmed the need to be an advocate for you guys, because health and wellness is, let's just face it, it's a very new thing for you guys as far as the companies that you're working with and the insurance companies. I was just talking earlier here with the moderator and saying, you go to a school, a high school or a middle school, and it's unheard of for them to not have a wellness plan in place for their teachers. But I know for you guys, you're really struggling to be able to have something in place for you with companies, but also just for yourself, because you have a very unique job. You guys are living over the road. You have let's face it, kind of like a mobile house. So that means you're eating on the go. You don't have access to a gym whenever you want, or the space to be working out, however it is that you'd want to. So you really need something mobile for you guys to be able to live a healthy lifestyle and keep doing what you guys do so amazingly on an everyday basis. So that's really where Mother Trucker Yoga kind of came in. Was I realized that, for me, when I work with clients, I really try to encourage them, okay, if you add 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here, maybe 10 minutes here, that's going to add up to a lot, versus saying, I got to find an hour, I have to find 30 minutes. And then we're tired at the end of the day and we never do anything. And when I was at Matt's, it just really reconfirmed to me the types of issues that you guys are dealing with: back pain, herniation, sciatica, neck pain, sleep issues. I mean, you all know what you're dealing with, but it just kind of reconfirmed that there needs to be something that addresses these a little bit more kindly, because jumping around, running around your truck, doing 20 push-ups is only for a really small section of truck drivers that are capable of doing that. What I found and the feedback I've gotten is you guys are looking for things to really help better your body and save your body and heal your body if you are currently dealing with issues like that. And that's where Mother Trucker Yoga comes in. So what we did is we created a platform for you guys that you can come in, do easy 3 to 5 minute videos with what I call a hyper focus, meaning you have back pain, here's one move that's going to help you feel a lot better. You have neck pain, here you go. You have wrist issues, sleep problems. Each video is hyper focused on that specific area. And what makes us unique is that all of the videos are filmed inside the cab of the truck, with a couple outside the cab of the truck as well. So that means the driver's seat and the sleeper, you guys are able to do these right along with me in the convenience and the comfort of your cab. So you can be on your phone, you can be on your computer, as long as you have internet or Wi-Fi access. And what makes us different to other wellness programs, you guys, is that it's an instructional video. I'm actually talking to you, actually telling you what you should or shouldn't do. And then you guys get to come on once a month with me and, do kind of this kind of thing. Ask me questions. I can help give you guys guidance as far as health issues go and really make sure you guys are on the right track. So I would love to kind of hear what some of the things are that you guys are struggling with, or you guys are having a hard time with when it comes to health and wellness or fitness.
Well, I'm Fly. I actually, I've only been in the trucking industry for a year, but I actually have my bike connected to the outside of the back of my tractor. So I do ride a mountain bike. I have various different cords, like resistance bands, and I also have that fit board, and I'm getting ready to buy some skates. But I do quite a few different things. I also have a workout that I do if it's raining outside or something, that I can do it inside the truck. It's like a 20-minute workout, and it gives you a full body workout with a combination of jumping jacks, crunches, planks, the wall squats where, I mean, the wall sits or whatever, you sit against the wall, whatever it's called. But anyway, but I have a question for the yoga. So say um, if you turn the heat up and do some of your yoga moves in the truck, would that still do the same work as like hot yoga as well?
I love that question. And first of all, kudos to you. You are totally on the right mindset. It seems like you have a lot of tools in place and you're utilizing them. That's the key. We have tools and we don't utilize them. They don't do us much good. Absolutely. So there's a lot of different ways that you can work with us to kind of meet your needs. So yeah, turning up the heat in your truck would be kind of an equivalent to a hot yoga. And the theory behind hot yoga is that sweating can help us with that detox process. So when we sweat out impurities in our body. And so that can be anything and everything we've come in contact with, foods, whatever is in the air, different kinds of lotions and things that we put on, they kind of sink into our body. So sweating is a way for us to detox that. And so yoga is one way to help that process along. And so, yeah, absolutely. If you're game for that, that sounds like fun. And the great thing about our videos is that they can be done as one video, so a 3-minute video or a 5-minute video for backs or hips, but you can also do many of them all in a row. So you could make your own 10, 20, 30-minute practice depending on how much time you have or what it is that you want to do. And the cool thing is that in our platform, I have suggested combinations for you. So you can choose, what videos you want to do together. If you're not sure, maybe you're having a bad digestion day and you're looking for something to kind of alleviate some of that discomfort. Well, here's some great suggestions for you. Or that back pain or neck pain or core work, whatever it is, you'll be able to do that with us in the comfort of your own cab and truck, which is really kind of nice.
Hey, we a little. I've gotten a little out of order. I did, for everyone, I did put a post. We got about an hour with Miss Hope. So I did put a post, or excuse me, Kelly put a post in the Sovereign Roads room for questions. Also, if you would like to text me, if it'd be easier, at 614-483-8906. Please include your handle, whether you do it on the Facebook or you do it on, you text me directly. I want to make sure that we get to all the. I'm sorry, I got a phone call. Also, if we could just back up just a little bit, if I could ask you, what was the motivation for you, Miss Hope? What was the motivation as far as the yoga 20 years ago, and why has it been beneficial to you in your life?
Yeah, no, thanks for asking that question. So 20 years ago, I was struggling with an eating disorder and depression and just really not doing well and tried everything. And my parents were trying to get me healthy and just kind of nothing was working. And actually a friend that I was working with, I was lifeguarding at the time, said, "You look like someone that would do yoga." And something in me, I never even heard the word yoga up until that point. And so I was just like, oh, and something in me just clicked. And I started looking for yoga classes and I found one at the time in my area. And I was still in high school at the time. And so I asked my mom to go with me. And I still remember that first yoga class. And when I walked out the door, and I can still visualize how I felt that day, my mind was clear. And all the anxiety and all the worry and all the, oh my gosh, the woulda, coulda, shouldas were gone. And I had not remembered a moment in a really long time that I hadn't felt that way. Even though I felt like every pose I couldn't do, I was shaky, my wrists hurt, I could barely balance, but I felt like for the first time in a really long time, I wasn't inside my head. I wasn't afraid. I wasn't so negative about myself. I wasn't analyzing and judging myself. I kind of felt for the first time what it was like to be in your body, and maybe those listening can relate to that. Just kind of always felt like I was always trying to get out of my body and get out of my life and not feel, and yoga kind of makes you do those things. And that was just really the first step to a whole path I had never imagined I would walk down. And a year later from there, I found myself in a yoga teacher training. And After that, I decided I wasn't going to go back to college. I had done a year already, and I wasn't going to go back. And in the years following that, I opened a yoga studio. I actually married my high school sweetheart. And my husband and I found out that we were pregnant unexpectedly. We weren't expecting to have a child. And just shortly after that, my husband and I actually lost our daughter to severe birth abnormalities. And what makes yoga so impactful for me was I was still early in recovery when my husband and I lost our first child. And everyone was kind of watching me, wondering if I was going to fall, if I was going to relapse, like what was going to happen to me. And I took my grief to the mat. I took all of those worries and fears and all of my anger and all of my sadness, and I took it to my mat. And I found myself doing that because there's something really interesting about yoga that's very different from any other, we could just say any other fitness practice, in the fact that it forces you to really be in your body. It forces you to feel, it forces you to breathe. And that's something that is absolutely vital for us in order to live life to the fullest. I had a deep faith. I had a great connection with God. I grew up Catholic. I'm Christian. And so I had a really good relationship with God. And that was part of the reason why I feel like I am still on this earth. But the second reason is definitely yoga, because it helped me realize that part of living is taking action. And yoga is all about taking action. And so you can pray and you can ask for advice and you can go to therapy and you can do all these things. And those are things that I all did. But yoga asks you to take action, to do things that are uncomfortable, to balance in a pose and possibly fall over, whether it's in the comfort of your truck or in front of 20 other people in a class, and get back up again. And those were the skills that I was lacking going through recovery. I had to relearn how to live life again and how to be in my body and be okay with myself. And what I found as I'm doing this, as I'm going through recovery and going through the practices of yoga and teaching yoga, was I realized that there was so many other people that were going through what I was going through on some degree or some level. And as I became more comfortable with sharing my experiences, I found that, I can really help people. I can really help people more than just their back hurts or their shoulder hurts or they want to lose weight. But there's a lot of other things that we are struggling with in this world that are the reason why our back hurts, or the reason why, maybe we have a weight issue, or the reason why, we can't sleep at night. And it's because there's a lot of internal stuff that we need to be able to be willing to acknowledge. And maybe that's, not what people want to hear. But what I have found is that in my own life and working with thousands of people, is that when we start to really ask people to get quiet and start to really ask people to listen and reflect and then do these poses at the same time and feel uncomfortable and feel strong and feel empowered and feel where, they're tight and notice those experiences, that something on a much deeper level also changes. And I think that's what makes yoga so unique. And that's, I think, why I'm so drawn to yoga, is because I get so much more out of it than just feeling like I had a great workout. I feel like I had a great work in as well, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you touched on your faith. Shots fired, Miss Rana. So you can keep your God and still do yoga?
That's a great question. And I think for a lot of people, and I think it's also just like an education thing, like anything, we don't know what we don't know. So yoga isn't a religion, but what we found is that obviously you go to India and Buddhists and Hinduism, they find that yoga helps them expand and live their faith and be able to expand who they are. And so as a Christian, and I work with lots of people of all different backgrounds, the great thing about it is I always tell people, you take your belief system to your mat and you talk to who you need to talk to and you connect with who you need to connect with, because it's an internal experience. And so that's why yoga, they always say yoga is universal, because it's about kindness. It's about acting with care. It's about showing respect. It's about community. There's a word in yoga called sangha, and that means community. There's a sense of community and compassion. And so you take what resonates with you and you bring it to the mat and you bring it to your practice and you allow yourself to become more of that. And I feel like, again, that's why yoga for me in recovery was such an integral tool, because it helped me really make sure and reinstill my faith, and it helped me draw a stronger connection with God, because I found that all of these things I was avoiding in life, I had to face on the mat. I know that might sound really weird if you've never done yoga before, but trying to avoid situations that were uncomfortable, well, now I'm in a yoga pose that's uncomfortable. I have to face that. So I talk about yoga, how it's like a mini incubator for life. All the stuff that you're dealing with in life comes to you with on the mat, and you can learn to deal with those things on the mat so that you can better face them out in life. So I had issues with food, and so it helped me understand more of self-control and self-love, and the anxiety that was the underlying issue to that. I was able to learn how to deal with my anxiety on the yoga mat so I could deal better with it when it came to food. And I think we all are dealing with different things on different levels to some degree, to any degree. And when we can get quiet with ourselves and we can really listen, we can hear our inner voice or our higher power or God, whatever you want to call it. When we can hear that, we start to make better choices off the mat and in our lives. And I think that's the one thing that, doesn't always get talked about when it comes to yoga, because yes, even with Mother Trucker Yoga, I can help you with your back pain and your neck pain and your plantar fasciitis and your headaches, or you can't sleep well. But what about also just feeling better as a person, breathing better, being able to get quiet with yourself and have that better connection with whatever it is for you? And so in Mother Trucker Yoga's platform, I also have guided meditations, audios. You can just download them to your phone and you can listen to them. We have guided sleep meditations, just opportunities for you, again, to quiet your mind so that you can feel more connected to whatever that is for you, but also to be able to just really be in your body and be who you are and who you're meant to be. And when we're just trying to shove ourselves into things, how many reps can I do? How fast can I go? How hard can I push? That's great. And sometimes that's necessary, but sometimes that's also counterproductive, because what we really need is more self-care. We need more self-respect. We need more quiet time. We need to more self-care. And yoga can be both of those things, depending on whatever it is that you need.
That is fire. I'm gonna start hitting you with firing off a few different things. Just in the interest of time, I want to make sure that I'm sure there's going to be questions at the end. So I want to make sure that we leave plenty of time for questions. But this is the thing. You have pretty much jumped into an industry where you should have plenty of clientele. The problem, I think, with drivers, you had asked earlier about some of the issues that drivers have, but we are going through a medical reboot as far as how we are able to qualify to get our CDLs. We have to have a medical card, and in that medical card, those doctors have to be qualified to actually do the screening, the DOT screening. So there's a lot of pressure on the doctors to do everything right. So what we're finding is we're having a lot more occurrences in this industry with diabetes, a lot more occurrences in this industry with sleep apnea, a lot more occurrences, or now we're going to have to be under a 30 BMI, a body mass index. We'll have to score under a 30. So we all at one time, right now, we're all being faced with having to fit in these boxes, whereas at one point before we wouldn't having to be able, or we didn't have to fit in all of these different boxes. So my question to you is, now that you've taken on this fight, what are some of the things that drivers can do specifically to fit in these boxes? The sleep apnea, the diabetes, the overweight, the BMI, etc.
Absolutely. Great question. So, first of all, I think definitely truck drivers, you guys definitely obviously have something that you need to definitely take a look closer at. Otherwise, the reality is you lose your job. But also that most of America is also dealing with this as well. It may not be something like passing a DOT physical, but it's definitely taking people away from their jobs because they can't do the things that they need to or love to do anymore. I first and foremost want to point out, because this is going to lead right into this, the number one cause of health issues is stress. Number one. And so here again comes yoga knocking at your door, because what is one of the number one benefits of yoga is stress reduction. And stress is linked to 6 of the top leading health concerns. And that first one is heart disease, cancer, lung issues, health, actually accidents caused by stress, liver issues. And so these are all issues and all things that we can help start to address through yoga. And one of the things that yoga focuses a lot, and so does our Mother Trucker Yoga program focus a lot on, is breathing. And I know a lot of people might think like, okay, yeah, how does breathing help with anything? Well, when you are able to start to self-regulate your breathing more effectively, not only can you start to heighten your metabolism, because metabolism is really run a lot by breathing and a lot by how the processes of your body are working, but also we can start to lower blood pressure, which I know is a concern for truck drivers and something that they're also looking at is what your blood pressure is at. It can also help regulate sleep. And so you're getting the right amount of sleep, you're better able to pay more attention on the road. And so this is something, maybe call it a backdoor method, is a lot of times we look at what the problem is and we only look at the problem versus stepping back and it's like, okay, what is the bigger problem? And stress is definitely one of those big ones. And so if we can start to give you guys some actual tools to reduce stress, what if your body starts to let go of that weight then, because it's not so stressed out and it's not, your body is not in kind of like critical mode of like, oh my gosh, something's happening. I don't know what's happening. I'm going to hold on to everything. And our body does that a lot with weight, is we hold on to the weight because other things aren't working properly or we're stressed out. And so that's definitely one thing that we take a look at with Mother Trucker Yoga and focus on. But the BMI, yeah, definitely that's a huge concern for truck drivers and for all of America. Obesity is a huge issue. And so moving, you just need to be moving more. And so that's where this idea of 3 to 5 minutes comes in with Mother Trucker Yoga, is that, okay, if you do 3 minutes here, 5 minutes here, 3 minutes here, 5 minutes here, and that adds up to a lot at the end of the day. And part of our program too is encouraging you guys and showing you other ways that you can help get more, let's call it steps in or extra movement in. There's a lot more research coming out in regards to more like functional mechanics and functional medicine, in that, yes, we need to have an exercise program, but we also need to just be moving more as a whole, as a person, just within our life. And since truck drivers are stuck in the cab for the majority of the day, kind of similar to someone that works in a cubicle. However, they can get up and go to the bathroom when they want and stretch their legs. Do they do it? To be determined. But that's kind of where I've kind of really looked at your situation and your health concerns, and some of the audio programs that we've created is actually 40 minutes of movement while you're driving in the truck. So you can actually listen to me. I'm taking you through all these different exercises that you can do safely while you're driving. That's 40 minutes of movement that you wouldn't have otherwise had. And so that movement also equals that you're burning calories, you're increasing your breathing, which means that you're going to be heightening your metabolism, you're going to be feeling better. Breath also helps boost serotonin and endorphin and neurotransmitters in the brain. So for those of you that are struggling with depression, anxiety, myself, I've been there, and I've used yoga to help me cope with those things in a more healthy, natural way. And so these are all the opportunities that yoga has for you guys. And maybe Mother Trucker Yoga is just the tip of the iceberg for you. And we recognize that. And that's why we also have a 20-minute program with our Mother Trucker Yoga. So we actually have kind of like a month protocol program with 20-minute workouts with Mother Trucker Yoga if you want to kind of step it up a notch and really be able to help yourself get where it is that you want to go. And in recognizing these DOT medical examiners needing to be able to say, hey, this is what you have to reach in order to drive your truck. We recognize that, and that's why we have a full program also for individuals that don't pass their DOT medical, physical, or examination, so that we can get you back on the road as fast as possible, in hopefully as a healthy and natural way as we can, so that you can get back to doing what you love.
Absolutely. So a couple things. Is there some sort of, well, one, I'd like you to plug your website, phone numbers, emails, Facebook pages, etc. How do we get a hold of you? Two, are there some quick hit strategies, in the hustle and bustle of every day of being a truck driver? We like to be able to see something, to right away to know that this is beneficial. This is, whether it be losing weight, or whether it be breathing better, things of that nature. Also, what are some of the price points for your program? Like from someone who doesn't need maybe as much work as like a Miss Corletta, or someone like myself that may need to jump all the way in. What kind of cost are we talking about here?
Awesome. Absolutely. Okay. So first of all, you guys can definitely check us out. We have an amazing website, mothertruckeryoga.com. Again, that's mothertruckeryoga.com. Tons of information on there, great videos so you can get a better sense of what our platform looks like. Definitely dive into that. We're also on Facebook, mothertruckeryoga.com, or Mother Trucker Yoga. You can find me on Facebook and on Instagram, Hope Zavara, that's Zvara. Feel free. I pretty much run my business from social media, both Mother Trucker Yoga and my own yoga platform. So you guys can reach out to me and, say hey, or even in Sovereign Roads Facebook group, feel free to bounce some questions off me. I want to be a resource for you guys in any capacity possible. But in those regards, and I also want to just do one little breathing exercise with you guys if you're cool with that today too. But one of the things that is great about us is that our price point is incredibly reasonable. So we're $7.99 a month. It's a subscription-based service for any driver. We have some discount programs available for companies that want to come in and buy this for their drivers. And we're in the works with quite a few companies, and actually trying to work with one insurance company right now to get our program approved with them, which is great. And it's great because our program starts you out with about 10 videos and all of our audios, and we have a bunch of PDF downloads, all sorts of really cool stuff for you guys to have as much information as possible. And then every single month we add a few new videos. So you're constantly getting new content with us. So it's never like the same old thing over and over again. In addition to that, you guys get to hop on an hour chat with me once a month, and we can talk about everything and anything health related. We'll have topics of discussion, but it's also an opportunity for you guys to log on and be able to say, hey, I'm doing this movement, or I'm also doing this, but this is happening, or this I'm coming up with this issue, or what else could I do for this problem, or do you think it would be okay for me if I try this? To be able to have some guidance in the health and fitness world, but also in the yoga world, to be able to give you some guidance with that. We also are going to be bringing on our holistic nutritionist. So she really understands what it's like to eat on the road and how to do it in a healthy way, and how to do it to be able to deal with some of the issues you guys are dealing with. Diabetes is definitely one of them, is that she focuses on. So that's also an opportunity you guys have. And it's $7.99 a month for any driver. It doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter what your health points are. I do work individually with some drivers as well, if you have some really specific things that you want some more attention to. But I'm just really excited to be able to help you guys in any way possible. In addition to that, like I said, we do work with companies. So whether you have 3 drivers, 300, or 3,000 drivers, and you're an owner operator, or you're a company, we want to be able to help you help your drivers and also help yourself. And so that's the great thing about us, is we're not asking for your whole bank account. We're just asking that, you guys commit to something and let us help you feel the best that you possibly can feel.
Excellent, excellent. We have a question. Miss Queen Toe wants to know if you have an app. Does an app come with the program that we can use going down the road? And also, if you could speak a little more to how we can get our companies involved, the places of our employment, how we can get those people involved, and to get them started on some sort of wellness plan.
Awesome. Absolutely. Okay, so we are in works of creating an app right now. So right now, our platform, our video platform is mobile friendly. So I use it actually in my other business too. Super easy to use from your phone. It'll automatically save your password, so you can just log right in and utilize the videos. All of our audios are downloadable, so you can literally download the audio right to your phone and just listen to it over and over again as many times as you want, which is great. And so in the next couple of months, expect an app from us. And the reason why we didn't build an app right away is because we want to make sure that we are working with our drivers and that we're giving you guys exactly what you're looking for. Because the truth of the matter is, I know yoga and I've worked with truck drivers, but I'm not a truck driver. So I want to make sure that you guys are getting exactly what you're looking for and are getting exactly what you need. And so we can make those tweaks, and you guys basically get to help build a program that you want. All of our videos are videoed, and we're on track to do another round of videos in about 6 months. But we want to make sure we're giving you exactly what you want. And I think that's really important, at least to me as the developer of the program and as of your teacher. I want to make sure that we're doing that. But how to get your companies involved in Mother Trucker Yoga? The best way that you can do it is one, definitely send them to our website, or make sure you have them get in contact with myself. And so my email is hope@mothertruckeryoga.com. You can also access me right through the website, but let them know that you're interested in Mother Trucker Yoga. Or you can even reach out to us and say, hey, here's my HR person's information. This is her phone number, or his phone number. I'm going to tell him that I want you to get a hold of him, and he's waiting for your call, or she's waiting for your call, so that we can make sure that we start to have communication with them, and we can let them know that their drivers are actually interested in our program. Because that is one thing that we have learned working with companies is a lot of the companies, even though they have a wellness coordinator, they don't know anything about wellness. And that's nothing to their, it's not their fault, but they don't understand what it is that's out there, that we're so new to, that hey, this could really help your drivers. Oh, but our drivers aren't asking for anything because they don't know that you're looking. They don't know that you're interested in this. They don't know that you're actually thinking that this is something that you want to help your drivers with. So definitely talk to your HR heads, talk to the company owners, let them know that you want a wellness program, that you want Mother Trucker, and let us know too, so that we can also call and speak on your behalf as well and say, hey, so-and-so reached out to us. There's a need for this, and we want to be able to help your drivers. And the great thing about that is with companies is we come in and we do wellness and services with you guys. We have a bunch of other tools that we make sure that you have, just so much more interaction when we're working on a company level too. So that's just a great opportunity for you guys to be advocates for yourself, and then let us come in and we'll take care of the rest.
Wow, this is huge. This is super huge. And I've personally, I know that I've posted pictures in the room of guys being life flighted, ladies being cut out of the side of the truck due to health issues. Family, we got to do better. We got to do better. So, yeah, I'm super excited. I know Kelly just signed up, Queen Toe. So if we could if you don't have anything else, can we get into the breathing?
Yeah, I just noticed here in the Facebook group, Kelly asked if people who sit all day or work behind a desk, would this help? Absolutely. The cool thing is, we recognize that you guys need something in your environment, because sometimes we can't put two and two together. And this is not just truck drivers, this is anybody. It's like, how do I visualize myself, in my environment? And so all of the video is shot inside the cab. So you guys are literally seeing what I'm doing is what you guys are doing in your environment. But yeah, take the ones behind the wheel, and you're at your desk behind your computer. The ones on the bed, you're on your floor at home. And so this is an opportunity for you and your spouse also to start getting healthier. And the great thing is that you don't have to be flexible. You don't have to be super skinny or, super in shape to do this program. This is about the average truck driver, the average person starting to take better care of themselves. So we are starting from ground zero, and through this program showing you the options, the variations of the poses and stretches, so that you can find what works for you and not feel like, oh, I'm just too big, or oh, I can't touch my toes. Well, most people can't touch their toes, and you're in the perfect place. If you can't touch your toes, then you need yoga. So that's what's so great about this program, and that's why I'm so passionate about helping people, because the truth is the people that are already healthy and in shape are already healthy and in shape. The people that aren't are the people that need the help and the guidance, and need it in a way that's easily digestible and that makes sense to them and that is explained well. And that's one thing as a teacher, not just with Mother Trucker Yoga, as a yoga teacher, I recognize, and that's really important to me. So yeah, anybody can do this program, Kelly. Doesn't matter, what you are doing. If you're a truck driver or not, I encourage, spouses get involved in this as well. And our 20-minute video program, that portion of the program would be awesome. You're doing the ones in the truck, and then, your spouse is doing the 20 minutes at home, or I can't remember. I think it was Quinto or one of the gals that came on with a question. She says that she does all this stuff in her truck already. Yeah, flip up the sleeper, and you can do your 20-minute ones with us in the truck. Turn up the heat. You got yourself some hot yoga. So definitely, you guys have some options to be able to feel better wherever.
Can we go back and forth? Or I don't know. I don't know how this is going to work. Did you want to open the floor up for questions, or did you want to get into the breathing?
Well, why don't we open up the floor with some questions, and then you leave me 2 minutes at the end, and I'm going to teach you guys all one really quick breathing exercise.
All right. Well, you heard it. Any questions? Anybody want to have any questions for Miss Hope? Well, I'm gonna jump in here with mine. So with the yoga, is that something that you can do alone, or is that something, like if in the interest of losing weight and just getting into a better health, is that something that you can do alone, or do you have to do it with the diet plan as well? And when you're talking about the diet plan, what type of foods are we talking about, and how much access would we have to those type of foods, with only being having access to truck stops?
That's a great question. And so I think regardless of what your profession is and what you're trying to do in regards to your health, diet plays a huge role in it. And so it's a lot of times people will want to just implement an exercise plan, but the reality is that the diet is kind of the ringleader of what your health does. And so definitely encouraging people, but my philosophy and my approach, whether it's with Mother Trucker Yoga or not, is starting people off small with easy, tangible steps. And I know sometimes that might be frustrating because it's like we want it all right away, but the likelihood of people following through with things increases existentially when we start with small steps and we make sure that they're instilled in us and they're real changes, and then we're going to get a lot farther along versus the New Year's resolution, which only about 8% of people actually follow through with. So would you want to be the 8%, or can we up that percentage a little bit with small easy steps? So things as simple as, okay, you need to increase your water intake. We obviously, a lot of people already know that, but that means more bathroom stops. Well, did you know that eating more citrus fruits, watery fruits and vegetables actually help you increase your water intake for the day? That means eating oranges and grapefruits and pineapple, and eating things like celery and cucumbers. Those are high content of water. And so when you eat vegetables and fruits like that, you're actually getting more of your water requirement for the day, which nobody ever talks about, but that's a really easy way to do that. And when your body has more water, you're going to shed more fat. You're going to be able to have better digestion. You're going to feel better, not so groggy and not so foggy. You're also going to want to be able to log on to our platform and do Mother Trucker Yoga because you're not so exhausted at the end of the day because you've upped that water intake. So simple changes like that, and I get changes hard. I have my favorite foods too that it's like, oh, but if I try to do the make a healthy choice first and then not such a healthy choice second, we start to slowly change those habits and we start to make more healthy choices. So just little simple things like that. And also going through part of our program that's going to be coming in a couple of months here is actually taking you to a truck stop on video and actually going through what you guys are looking at on a daily basis and saying this, not this. this, not this, so that you guys actually are seeing what we're seeing and I'm seeing what you're seeing, to be able to say, hey, we get it. You know, this might not be perfect. It might not be organic. It might not be farm fresh, but this is going to be a better option than this thing over here. So really just trying to meet you where you're at and help you understand that you don't need to do everything right away, but we can definitely work on some things and help you guys make some permanent changes. Obviously, if you're already failed your physical, you're in a little bit of a different situation. So we're going to do a little bit more of a kind of a hyper focused plan with you guys and help you out a little bit more aggressively. But it really can be as individual as you want if you want more attention, or it can be as general as you want, as something as simple as logging in and downloading our PDFs, using our videos at your discretion.
Should with yoga, is it best to like wait a few hours after we eat a meal to do yoga? Also, what's the best time of day for us to do it, whether it's in the morning or afternoon before we go to sleep? And how often should we be doing this?
Good questions. Okay, so how often? Well, ideally with Mother Trucker Yoga, because we have short little 3 to 5 minute videos, I always like to be realistic. So can you log on once a day? Okay, that's 3 or 5 minutes of doing a little bit of movement. And what most people find is you do a little bit and you're like, oh, that felt good. Here's another video. I'm going to do this video now. I'm going to do this video now. But ideally, we would love for our viewers to be logging on 3 times a day. So that means, you know, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and once in the evening. That's really one move, but maybe you have a little bit more time and maybe that's going to be a couple of moves. So really kind of being able to play with that. The food question is a great question. So because yoga focuses so much on the digestive system and really moving food through, working on the descending colon, massaging the liver, kidneys, those types of things, it can be a little uncomfortable when you do it right after you eat. So it's always advised that you maybe wait about an hour after you eat a meal, or if it's a really light meal, like a, you know, a granola bar or, you know, a piece of fruit or something is usually fine. You're not going to really notice anything as far as just like reflux or discomfort, but that's always encouraged. What time of day is a great question. And that really depends on, one, what type of a person you are, if you're a night person or a morning person. Yoga can be great in the morning because you're a little stiffer in the morning. So it's great to get everything moving again. And as far as the mind goes, the mind is usually a lot quieter and calm. So things like meditation and breathing usually are a little bit easier to do because you don't have the stress of the day on your shoulders. At night, yoga is great because it's a great de-stressing. Your body is a little bit more, you know, mobile or a little bit more friendly, but the mind needs decompression, which can help you sleep a lot better. So it really depends on you and on what you want to do. Let's say you do a little bit in the morning before you get going, and yeah, you do a little bit at night, and you get the best of both worlds. But the most important thing is to get moving, to do something. And one thing I always ask myself is, okay, if I'm doing nothing, I get nothing. If I'm doing something, I'm going to get something different than what I have. And so that's really something that everyone listening today, I want you to ask yourself, you know, am I ready to really feel better? Am I really willing to try something different? And at the possibility, I feel better. And what's the worst that happens? You don't feel better and you feel exactly the same as you are. I mean, so you're really out nothing when you try a program like Mother Trucker Yoga.
Is there anyone who should be cautious going into yoga or into certain poses because of physical ailments, maybe certain back problems or issues like that?
Yep, and that's what's great about our platform is because I'm giving you instruction in the videos, I actually go through in the videos and say, if you have a herniated disc or if you have a fusion, do this instead, or maybe consider this video instead. So then that way you're getting the guidance that you need to make sure that you're doing things safely. But absolutely, I mean, there's constraints to anything. And those are some of the things that I discuss in the videos. But just again, same thing, high blood pressure, you know, is a big one. So yoga is so great for them, for people with high blood pressure, because it's going to really help you calm your nervous system. It's going to really help you calm any anxiety and stress. So it's going to help you self-regulate that. And so there's little minor things to definitely be aware of and alert to, but those are all things that I point out in each video to make sure that drivers have that information up front knowingly.
Okay, anyone else?
Well, I don't have a question, but I do want to say I will be at Walmart today getting my yoga mat to lay down in this truck and get started today. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And um, sorry to hear about your child. But thank you so much. I feel your passion that you have for this, and I appreciate you. Thank you.
You are so welcome. And I believe that God gives us opportunities in every situation, and it's our choice to use them or not. And for me, I believe my daughter did a brave thing and gave me the push I needed to forge on fully into recovery, and also to help others with the path that I was given. And I'm just utilizing it in every way that I can. And she was a motivator. She was a motivator for me. And I'm just so blessed to be able to help you guys feel better. And I'm so excited that you're going to be getting that yoga mat. Even if you don't have a yoga mat, you guys, you can still do Mother Trucker yoga. We joke it's no mat yoga. So just start where you are. And the best thing to do is just start by logging on. So I want to take literally 1 minute right now and just take you through just a really quick tutorial on how to breathe. Okay. So wherever you are, I just want you to sit up really tall, relax your shoulders, put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And so on the inhalation, you should feel your belly expand and your chest rise. Now, as you exhale, try to make sure your exhale moves out nice and smoothly. And when you exhale, your belly is going to deflate in and your chest is going to collapse down. It's kind of like a wave. And then inhale again, belly expands, chest rises. And when you can't take in any more air, exhaling and work to let all the air out. And so this is called deep abdominal breathing in its very basic form. And the average person takes 21 to 24,000 breaths a day. So I'll leave you with this thought. How many breaths during the day are you actually aware of? How aware are you of actually the fact that you're alive and breathing on this earth? If 3 to 5 minutes with Mother Trucker Yoga helps you in that capacity, just think about how much more enjoyable life will become. Regardless, or not even talking about the exercises and the movements, but just being more aware of yourself in this life, how much more exciting and how much more fruitful life will become.
Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth.
So ideally, we want to be inhaling through the nose and exhaling through the nose. And the reason being is because yoga with nose breathing, it helps keep the body heated. And also it helps create more of a one-pointed focus, which is going to help with kind of monkey mind, so to speak. If you can't breathe out through the nose for whatever reason, mouth breathing is okay as well. And we use mouth breathing in certain situations in yoga, but ideally we want to be trying with that nose breathing. And I have an extended audio and video on deep abdominal breathing in our platform as well. So again, mothertruckeryoga.com. Find us on Facebook. Definitely friend me on Facebook, Hope Savara. Find our Facebook page and like the page. We're always posting stuff and different exercises and tips and things. And if you, most importantly, work for a company, reach out to your company and let them know that you are interested in Mother Trucker Yoga with your company, and then get a hold of me, get in touch with me. You can even just PM me on Facebook and let me know that, hey, this is the company I work with, this is the HR department, or this is, my owner's phone number, and I want you guys to talk to them to get Mother Trucker for all of the drivers, because that's the best way we can help you guys, is you also be advocates for us and for yourself.
That actually brings up a very interesting question. Uh, we are truck drivers, and this is kind of way outside of the culture. So my question to you is, how does your partner, well, let me say this. But one of the things that we do at Sovereign Roads, we try to get people engaged, involved with Sovereign Roads, and some of the things that we're doing as it pertains to health. That's one of our big things. So if I'm out here doing these exercises and some of these movements, um, I'm assuming that your partner does them out on the job as well. So how does he, as a man, approach other men about doing yoga?
That's a funny question. So my partner Phil actually owns a fuel business in the trucking industry, and then he also works as a brokerage with two other partners. And so he actually a few years ago was paralyzed from the waist down, and he could not walk, could not move. And so Mother Trucker Yoga has now, after meeting him, he's recognized too that he needed to lose a little bit more weight and start kind of taking better care of his health. He can walk now. And if you ever get the chance of meeting him, he's an amazing person. But you can tell like, hey, what's his deal? Like, why is he walking funny? And he can do Mother Trucker Yoga. And so he has found, and we've had conversations about this, that there comes a point where I need to feel better. And either people are going to look at me and go, what? But at the end of the day, if I can feel better and I can do the things I need to do without pain, I'm going to do it. And what he's found just in his own personal life, because he's had now friends and colleagues and other people say, what are you doing? That it's stemmed conversations that wouldn't have been stemmed otherwise. So get this, you're stretching, you're doing Mother Trucker Yoga inside or outside your cab or wherever it is, and someone comes up to you that would have never done this before, and they say, what are you doing? Maybe even if they make a judgment, but you're able to turn that conversation around and help them in a way they never even thought possible. How cool is that? How cool is that? And I think that's how you have to start looking at it. Like, yeah, people might think it's like, what? But then they come up to you and now they're a believer and they're doing something better for themselves and taking their health back into their hands in a user-friendly way. That's what Mother Trucker Yoga can do for you guys. So think about it that way and see if that can kind of almost going out and being advocates for truckers' health. And you got to be bold. You have to be willing to be seen and start conversations. And you guys can do that with Mother Trucker Yoga.
One more again. Any last questions?
Well, I've been in the background. This is Blaine C. I met you at the truck show, and I want to thank Miss Kelly for having the foresight to talk to you, to bring you into the room. I've been waiting on this program here since the truck show, and I feel smarter already from listening to you, and more empowered and everything. And I want to encourage everybody to do this. My mother doesn't drive a truck, but I'm really thinking about getting her a subscription, so that she can, because she does a lot of office work, and I really want to get her plugged in.
Blaine, I love it. I love it. I'm like cheering over here for you. You can't see me, but I'm totally cheering. That's so awesome. And that's the great thing is you don't have to be in a truck to do Mother Trucker Yoga. Like I said, the ones in the driver's seat, you're sitting in a chair. The ones in the sleeper, you're on a bed or on the floor. The ones outside the cab, you're next to a wall or a chair. And I actually talk about that in the videos as how you could be in other places to help you be able to kind of wrap your head around that. But the biggest thing to remember again, and I just really want you guys to leave encouraged, is doing nothing gets you nothing. Doing something different gets you something different. And this might be the something different that you're looking for and you've been waiting for. And if one move can make you feel better, imagine what 2 moves and 3 moves and 4 moves can do for you. But you got to start. And so again, mothertruckeryoga.com. Mother Trucker Yoga on Facebook. Find me, Hope Savara, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm kind of on everything. So feel free to reach out to me. Reach out to your companies. Reach out to me and let me know what companies you're working with, because we truly want you guys to feel better. We truly do. And I look forward to getting to know every single one of you and working with you on an individual basis as well. Thank you guys.
And this is Rana. I've been listening the whole time. And I like your style, Miss Hope. Your story was touching. Like yoga, when I did yoga, it's like you walk in with the whole.
You come back, Miss Rhonda. You fell off.
Okay, can you hear me? Walk in with the weight of the world on your chest, and you walk out so light. Like yoga helped me through a very difficult time in my life. So I enjoyed this. I hope everybody tries it.
Rhonda, thank you so much. And that's such a great the way that you sum that up is, and that's what makes yoga so different than any other program, is because there's the mental and the emotional and the spiritual at whatever level you want it to be on your own accord. But there's just that whole unloading that happens. And when we feel better mentally and emotionally, we also make better choices in life. And that's something that's, absolutely important. And so thank you so much for sharing.
Ms. Holt, this is Big C. Got a quick minute here. I've been listening as I've been working, but want to let you know that, Ron, with that question that you asked, it's easy for a man to talk to another man about it. It's hard for a man to talk to a woman about it, which I found out when I was promoting this, and the woman tried to run away when I approached her. But I think that yoga, and it's something that I want to try. I'm one of the individuals in this truck. I have weights, I have restraint bands. I do a lot of push-ups. I'm that individual. I can put my palms to the floor. So I mean, I'm flexible. I do take my stretching very, very serious because of the fact that one of the things that you do, your muscles need oxygen as well. They need oxygen as well. And I want to tell you, Ms. Hope, again, I am truly sorry for your loss, but also I thank you for your courage and your faith. I want to say that to you.
Thank you so much. And I have to tell you, I was laughing out loud. I know you couldn't hear me, but good for you for talking to people. And I think that's the thing. It's like when we're passionate about something, we just have to talk to people and hope that anybody listens, because who knows, it could come back to them when they see something like us on social media or someone else is talking about it. They're like, hey, that guy actually said something about it. I should have listened to him. And as far as my story goes, I truly believe that, we're put on certain paths for a reason, and we either have an option to look at those challenges as tragedies and to tear us down, or we can try to find the light at the end of the tunnel and see the good in them. And I have found that my daughter has given me so many blessings in her short life that I know the blessings that I have gotten wouldn't have been this way if it wasn't for her short life. Obviously, I would love to have her in this world, but it is the way that it is, and I'm so blessed at how many great things have come from her short life, like being here today with you guys. And so I want to thank you guys so much again. And, the best thing, log on, join Mother Trucker Yoga. You guys get to talk with me. You guys get to become a part of the program. You become like family with me. And I hope that, Kelly, you guys would have me back on again, and maybe we can dive into some specific topics even when it comes to yoga or pain, to help get you guys a little bit more immersed in the program.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you. Got a lot of wisdom.
Thank you so much.
Yes, we will definitely. Actually, you can't hear them, but I got people in the background asking to make sure that I asked you to come back, or Kelly, and we can facilitate that for sure. So what I got from this is that, when we out here, well, we want to blow her website up. We definitely want to blow up with the website. We want to get her so much traffic that her website won't be able to handle it, and we just want to keep pushing until we get through. Secondly, when we're in these truck stops, when we're doing these exercises, we need to ask someone to come with us and do the exercises with us. These are, we out here trying to save lives, and health is the most important way that we can do that.
And please, Ms. Hope, remember you are a member of Sovereign Roads now, and you have been since the truck show, or actually you were even before that but didn't know it. So anything that you have coming up, please post it in our Facebook group. Anything you want people to know about your videos or whatever, feel free to use that resource.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. This has been so fun and just exciting, and to meet you all. I have found myself saying on multiple occasions that truck drivers are literally the lifeline of America. And without you guys, we wouldn't have our grocery stores and our fancy products and our medical devices and all these things that we need. And so keeping you guys safe and keeping you guys healthy has to become a priority, not just for companies and for insurance companies, but for everybody. And I just deeply appreciate you guys guys on such a deep level. And it's an honor to be able to work with you guys and to be able to help guide you. And I will do everything in the best of my ability to help you guys in your own personal journeys and just the journey of the truck driver. Definitely find us on Facebook, like I said, Mother Trucker Yoga. Like our page. Find me on Facebook. And like me, I'm always posting, I call it a daily dose of hope. I do a daily dose of hope video, inspiration, just kind of thoughts on life and things like that. So you guys can be able to get some of those little tidbits. And I am excited to be able to connect with you guys on a deeper level. And if it's cool with Kelly, I would love to post some tips and maybe some workout ideas or just little nuggets of things in Sovereign Road's Facebook page, their group, to be able to keep you guys inspired. And definitely subscribe. Definitely subscribe, talk to your company, and let them know that you want Mother Trucker Yoga.
Absolutely. Post whatever you want to in Sovereign Roads. Share it with us.
Will do. You guys, thank you so much. And please, let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep talking about this. Let's keep sharing. Definitely go to my website, reach out to me. And I know this will be the first of many times to work with you all. And I just also want to pop in here really quick. If you go to our website, we have some really kick-ass gear. So if you want to have some awesome trucker hats and shirts, and we have even some water enhancement supplements and just really fun stuff, check out our website and definitely put in the comment section if you order anything. Hey, I heard you on Sovereign Roads Truck Talk. I will pop in a free gift for you guys too.
All right, I think that wraps it up. Thank you, and we will definitely be in touch to make sure that we can do this all over again on the in the room, as well as again, please, everyone, you can't let this go any longer. We got to get this done. So please get to the website mothertruckeryoga.com so we can get our health, get in a place of better health.
Awesome. Thanks again, you guys. And I look forward to talking again. Visit my website, Facebook page, and have an amazing day.